Bees, everyone's favorite fuzzy yellow insect. From team mascots to jewelry to your own backyard, bees can be found virtually everywhere all around the world. There are more than 2.5 million colonies in the United States alone. Each of these colonies can house up to 100,000 bees. That is over 250 billion bees zipping through the skies each day. It's no wonder they became such an integral part of our culture today. While many people know of the traditional honeybee, there are actually over 20,000 different species of bees in the world. 4,000 of these species are native to the United States. While bees are typically associated with honey, that actually is not their primary purpose. In fact, less than 8% of bee species are capable of producing honey. Instead, the remainder only perform their primary function: pollination. There are other pollinators in the United States as well, including a wide range of insects such as beetles, butterflies, moths, and the bee's dreaded cousin, the wasp. However, bee species pollinate approximately 75% of plants alone. Despite only making up a small number of the total count of pollinators, bees work overtime to ensure plants are pollinated. This is especially important for farmers in the United States, who rely on bees to pollinate their crops. Without them, many of your favorite fruits and vegetables would be far more expensive and labor-intensive to grow. Sadly, bee colonies have been under attack in recent decades. Bee colony counts have dropped over 5 million since 1990 due to environmental changes and the prevalence of parasitic and predatory creatures. 2 of these have been particularly problematic for bees in recent years, causing headaches for both wild and domestic bee colonies. Varroa mites, a reddish parasite that latches on to bees while foraging, and wax moths, which infiltrate the hive and damage its infrastructure. Due to the decline in populations, many farmers in Virginia have chosen to import foreign colonies to aid the local pollinators. Even though the odds seem stacked against them, the fuzzy flyers keep fighting. The tenacity of these creatures inspired me to use machine learning to determine strategies that will allow both wild colonies and farmers to flourish. While introducing captive colonies to farms can help, it is also important to monitor wild bee populations and encourage their own development. My goal was to determine what factors of hive health and bee population in various areas of Virginia affect crop health and farm efficacy. I also wanted to attempt to determine ways to promote these factors in the future. I used various regression models to help determine which factors of colony health can best promote quality crops. I used data of crop health and return of farms scattered across Virginia and Maryland, as well as local bee colonies and species. The first, most surprising result was the fact that farms with imported colonies seemed to harm the health of local colonies, and hence force farmers to continue importing bees. Further, the farms with planted hives had negative correlation with the efficacy of the farm, but more data is required to be certain that this is a cause and effect relationship. Another important conclusion is that species of honey-producing bees have a negative correlation with farm efficacy. Since many of the imported bees are honeybees, it seems counterintuitive that they may be worse pollinators. Further, the honey these bees produce is not considered nearly as valuable as the pollination efforts. As reported by the FDA, the pollinating effect of a honeybee colony can be worth up to 10 times that of the honey they produce. If native non-honey producing bee species are more effective pollinators in their region, it may be time for farm owners to consider promoting native species development over their imported bees. Although there are many important conclusions that can be drawn from our current data, it is necessary to run further experiments in the future in order to accurately predict what species and strategies can help pollinators perform their best work. Since native populations are constantly fluctuating, it can be difficult to track the exact bee populations visiting farms. Further, other factors such as weather, location, and farm type could also impact the results. In any case, it is clear to recognize that our efforts to import honeybees may have been misplaced. With careful consideration and experimentation, we may be able to save the bees and flourish together in mutualism. If you are interested in contributing to this ongoing process, the data and information will be in the description. Thank you for watching, and let's help the bees so they can help us.